Our decision to head south from Idaho and head along the eastern side of the Sierras has resulted in a nearly 2-week grand tour of California. We've seen a broad spectrum of the Golden State landscape. Broad high desert prairie in the northeast, towering snow-covered Sierras stretching for hundreds of miles to the south, broad fertile plains of the San Joaquin Valley, and the rolling hills of the coastal ranges. Today we'll finish up the long north coast stretch that we started from San Francisco to just across the border in Oregon, about 80 miles or so. From there, we'll head inland and generally follow the eastern side of the Cascade mountain range as we head towards the state of Washington. We're nearing the end of the Pacific Coast portion of our 2022 Campervan Adventure of the West. The 101 continues its winding path along the Pacific through more densely wooded sections. We also pass through Redwoods National Park and stop in at the Visitor Center, which is, interestingly, located on the beach. We get out and take a stroll through beautiful wildflowers near the shore.
So we're in a Redwood National Park, correct?
Yeah, it's kind of a mashup of a state and a national park. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how they determine that.
Elk.
Watch out for elk.
Elk crossing.
We have just a few more miles planned for our coastal travel, with sunny and warmer weather as we head across the remaining segment of California. We cross over into Oregon for our overnight in Brookings. Our campsite is at the Brookings Beachfront RV Park, and indeed it is right on the beach. Quite a busy place for locals and tourists alike. There's fishermen and boaters, beachcombers and gatherings of all kinds. Quite a busy place, but agreeably relaxing nonetheless. The marine layer has moved in as we get an early start the next day.
Yeah, we stayed down there. Foggy, drizzly day in the northwest.
We decide to stop in at a beach just south of town and catch our last views of the Pacific for this year's trip. Mist covers the rocky shoreline and a beach covered with many California sea lions. Goodbye Pacific Ocean until our next visit.
Bye, ocean.
First, we'll head over to the town of Grants Pass, and then proceed northeast toward Oregon State Highway 62, following the Rogue River north to Crater Lake National Park. The Crater Lake Lodge viewing area, where we plan to visit, sits at over 7,000 feet. Given the earlier weather we experienced in Idaho and eastern Oregon last month, we're anticipating having to break out the cold weather gear. We'll see how it plays out. Shady Grove is a small town situated right on the Rogue River. It's an outdoors-focused town, of course, replete with sporting goods stores, outfitters, rafting guides, and boat rentals.
Coffee and fish. Fishing hole fly shop, picnic basket deli, Rogue Adventure Center.
The Rogue River RV Park is also a great place for us to stop for the night. And we score a campsite right on the Rogue. Awesome.
On the Rogue River in Oregon.
After a peaceful night accompanied by the soothing sounds of the passing river, we are refreshed and ready to head into the Cascades.
Max Diner. You know, what time we got to go into a diner?
All right.
For breakfast.
Okay.
Did you get a video of those fishermen going by?
I wasn't quick enough. I waited, and I didn't see anybody else.
I don't know why I didn't. Floating down the river catching fish.
And
I didn't know that was a thing.
Phil's Frosty, apparently it's a big thing.
Yeah.
That they pay these guys big time to row them down.
On our map, we can see that we are traveling alongside the Rogue River, but views of the Rogue were generally blocked by the trees. We did catch glimpses of it as we crossed over the Rogue several times earlier, and of course we camped right next to it last night. The road now tunneled through the forest, and walls of trees on both sides prevented us from seeing very far. The overcast, sometimes drizzly weather added to the dark, woodsy feel. As we approach the turnoff to head to Crater Lake, we see a sign for the Rogue Gorge viewpoint. So in we go. The narrow canyon through which the Rogue flows is thought to have been formed by a collapse of a lava tube coming from Mount Mazenot, the volcanic mountain which blew its top and formed Crater Lake. There is a paved pathway that takes us to several viewing points of several waterfalls and a series of cascading rapids. We spend some time taking in the scenery, listen to the roar of the river, and marvel at this spectacle of natural beauty. We've learned over the years, when in the Pacific Northwest, anticipate the thick forests. Grab your camera and a raincoat and jump right in. You'll rarely be disappointed. We're back in the van, and just in time as the rain starts to pick up. It's just a mile to the Route 62 junction where we turn toward Crater Lake. We're at about 3,600 feet of elevation here, and we'll climb to 6,000 feet in the next 16 miles to the park entrance.
To Crater Lake. It's an all-day rain.
The rain continues, and as we gain elevation, we reach the snow line. The weather forecast is for fog, rain, and sleet, but no new snow. Despite the conditions, we enjoy the change of scenery.
Looks like we're almost to the top.
Yeah,
Turning into the park proper, we learn that the Rim Village is open. We have another 7 miles and 1,100 feet of vertical remaining to get to the top.
Covered with snow.
We break out the warm clothes and head outside. Behind the visitor center are viewing areas where on clear days we have seen beautiful views of the lake. Today is not one of those days. In fact, the viewing walkways are underneath a very large snowbank. I climb up to the top of the bank to see if I can see the lake. What I see is a vast foggy view with only the slightest hint of that deep blue color for which Crater Lake is known.
It's cold. It's blowing. Let's go get some hot cocoa.
Back in the van, we have a quiet lunch and warm up with mugs of hot cocoa before heading out of the park. Well, we declared officially a bust. To top it all off, we find out from the ranger at the visitor center that the West Rim Drive, our planned northern exit from the park, is closed due to heavy snow. We'll have to backtrack and find an alternate route north.
We're on 97.
What elevation are we here?
I don't know. Alright, onward and upward. Still raining.
State park campgrounds have fast become our go-to locations for great campsites. Just about every state that we've traveled through offers well-designed and maintained campgrounds, usually within beautiful settings that are not often visited by the general public. Checking the map, we zero in on LaPine State Park, located just on the edge of the town of LaPine. We pull the van into a great campsite in the pine forest. The morning greets us with sunshine, with occasional fluffy white clouds. It's still a bit chilly, but we decide to take advantage of the clear weather and go for a hike this morning. I think I hear the river.
We're leaving the camp this morning on June 5th, Yesterday was really rainy and was cold, but today we had some sun and went on a nice walk. What's the name of this park?
LaPine State Park.
Very nice park in Oregon on the Deschutes River. Deschutes River. Very nice facilities, very nice. Very neat, very knowledgeable people here. A very good place to come camping. Morning on the weekends, it is very popular, so hard to get into on the weekend, I think. But it's beautiful. All right, off we go.
We're now in Central Oregon, continuing on US Highway 97, the primary north-south route along the eastern side of the Cascades here in Oregon. The weather should start to clear up as we head toward typically drier areas of Oregon. We can't wait to see what's ahead. We'll see you on the next episode of our 2022 Campervan Adventure Tour of the West on these roads less traveled.